Woody's World is brought to you by Davidson's Liquor. New user-friendly website. I like that. Customers will experience improved product, searching and filtering, easy checkout, and an overall streamlined shopping experience. I'm looking forward to that. Search for nearly every product available in stock at Davidson's and choose convenient in-store pickup or have items shipped directly. Log on to Davidson's and experience the Davidson's difference. Woody's World. I'm going to follow up on what we were just talking about. And Les was saying that I've never used that expression, but he's a dopey big white guy. That's not true. He is one of the most accomplished and achieved and renowned quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. And as I mentioned to Les before we went on the air, of the last 62 quarterbacks drafted, only one has become a bona fide star. And
That's unbelievable to me.
Andrew Luck. And he followed in Peyton's footsteps. There are not out there, other than Luck, who has a chance to be one of the greatest of all time, but think about all the other quarterbacks that have come into the league over the last 5 or 6 years, and you go, well, they were spread quarterbacks, and they can't scramble.
Running
you saw Johnny
yeah.
Manziel. But Peyton Manning, there's a place for, and no pun intended, there's a place for Peyton Manning. There's a place for Tom Brady. There's a place for quarterbacks like Andrew Luck coming into the league that actually can play quarterback, as we've seen for the last 40 years. The great quarterbacks are pocket passers, they're thinkers, they're accomplished mental giants in terms of what they're able to do on the field. And Peyton Manning certainly won. We saw a new dimension of him yesterday. He was sick. I had been with him Friday when he was feeling great. Saturday night, he was feeling awful. Sunday, he played a game, and I wrote, Les, you and I would have taken NyQuil, gone to bed, and called in sick the next day. We'd have laid in bed because you saw me a few weeks ago when I was.
Yeah, you were hit for about 10, 12 days.
It just knocks you down. He's going to be sick for a while because it's going, as my mother says, it's going around, and it's going through the locker room. But we saw a man that didn't have to play. They didn't have to, Les, win that game, but we saw a man go out there and you go, well, it has the flu. I think it was beyond that, because when you have 4 IVs and you are dehydrated and you're having the issues that he had, that I think it's important to realize that Peyton Manning didn't have to play in the game. And we would have seen Brock Osweiler for an entire game, and I think the outcome would have been different. Then he gets banged up at the end of the first half, and John Fox announces to the PR people that Peyton Manning is going to be replaced by Brock Osweiler to start the second half. And Les was talking about it earlier. We're all going, oh my God, this is not going to work. But yet Peyton went in and got extra treatment from the Greek, their head trainer, and some of the doctors. He decided he was going to come back out, and John Fox did have a good line in all of his stuff that he generally just, doesn't do anything other than vanilla. And he said, I asked him specifically, I said, how did you find out that Peyton Manning, did you see him out on the field? Did he just run out on the field? Did you hear it from the trainer? He went, I saw it when there was that cavalry charge out of the tunnel. He said, that's when I knew Peyton was going back. And Peyton and I also talked about, there was a critical time in the game, and I'll finish this up, but there was a critical time in the game with about 6 minutes to go, and San Diego was within 6. They get the ball back, they score. The Broncos got the ball, and Peyton said, I said, was there any talk in the huddle that this is the most critical juncture of this game? And he said, I don't talk much, but he said, Julius Thomas talks a lot, Demarius talks. He said, there are other guys, offensive linemen, they talk, and I let them get it out of their system. Because they were huddling more than they normally do now that they kind of changed. And he said, but we knew we couldn't go 3 and out, that they kind of got the momentum going on their side at this point. And he said, we converted some third downs. There was a bad interference call on San Diego. Then
the Wes Welker play.
Yeah, that was a bad call. So they got a break there. Then they got the long pass to Emmanuel Sanders, and then they got a holding call. And he said he thought that was really the moment that they were in a situation where they got Demarius for a 13-yard gain. And he said, we put our field goal kicker, and he said Connor Barth. He actually said, we put Connor in a position to make the field goal. He said once it was a 2-score game, he said, I thought we were in good shape then. So that's Peyton Manning, I think, showed us that, as John Fox said, and I'll repeat it, he said he showed us a toughness in a competition that he's always had in his career. But even Peyton told me that was the first time that he'd ever gone into a game that sick before the game.